Okay, so time for another update to the grow log. It's been a couple weeks, and this time I decided to make a video since I don't think I've done one of those yet this season. So here is my germination bed. I think probably a lot of you know that I prefer to germinate on my range top of my electric stove, since there's a couple of pilot lights that stay on all the time, and they seem to provide a nice source of heat which promotes germination. At least it seems to work well for me. So you can see that there's a few going here, a few recently emerged, and everything seems to be okay right there for now. I think this container acts as a pretty nice sort of greenhouse, so to speak, for them. You can see from the condensation. So if this is the delivery room, then this must be the nursery. It's a little white box I have set up for the newly emerging plants. At the moment, I think at last count I have 61 different varieties going, and the goal for the season, by the time I get to the ground at the farm, would be to have 2 of each type of plant. I think I probably have about 75 different varieties of seeds. I need to do a little more bookkeeping on that end, but that would equate to about maybe 150 plants going in the ground on the farm in about May, sometime around May. I'm in zone 5B. You can see some of them getting a little leggy, but that shouldn't be a problem. When I go to transplant them to the party cups, I'll just bury all that stem up. Maybe they'll shoot off roots or something, but it shouldn't be a problem as far as how the plants are going to end up in the long run. I did see a couple posts recently about people asking whether you should pluck the coney lindens off once the true leaves emerge, and I would definitely say no. I don't think that would be of any benefit. In fact, it would probably harm the plant. It's certainly not something I do. But the coney lindens, you see one right there, and maybe if you look a little closer, if you can see, they'll just naturally, dry up, shrivel up, fall off, whatever they want to do. But just the regular process, nothing to be concerned about. Just let them do what they will. I think it was pretty good advice from someone else who said as long as they're still green, they're still photosynthesizing for the plant, so why be concerned about them? It's definitely not something you should be concerned about while they're on the plant. It's not something you should be concerned about once they fall off the plant. It's just part of their life cycle. So there's those. They're definitely attention whores, because I need, under these conditions with the light and all the wind blowing through my house with the furnace on and everything, it is Chicago and the end of winter, so they get dried out pretty easy, and they do take a lot of care. But water them a couple times a day. At least that's what I do. I actually water them in the morning when I get up, and then in the evening when I'm back home, I just pretty much mist them anytime I come back into the kitchen. So this is the guest bedroom. I think it's more appropriately known as the junk room repository, but anyway, here's the stuff I got going indoor. I guess I'll start off with the lights. These are just simple compact fluorescents. Nothing special, not something that's too sophisticated, no real rhyme or reason to them. I think most of them are like 100 watt, 500K, although I do have a hot, one of them is a little hotter bulb. I think it's 2700K, and that's simply because that's just what I had when I needed to replace a bulb. Hadn't made it to the hardware store yet. So if you, some people might have saw this boot Jalokia that got completely douched. It's bouncing back very, very nicely. I guess I shouldn't have not expected that. If you look, the stems are super thick, and it's definitely a pretty healthy plant with a nice root system, so shouldn't be too surprised by that. This is just a little T.S. Moruga. He's just sitting there because that's just, I don't know, the place I had for him at the moment. These are the plants I brought back from my recent trip to South Asia. I sourced these seeds from peppers and markets and restaurants and friends and whoever I could collect them from. I think I have one variety from India and 4 or 5 from Nepal. But I know I traded these seeds with several people, so if you're planting them, this is kind of what you got to look forward to in a couple months. They're definitely viable. And yeah, that's you can see that guy. That's just one piece of garlic. I never tried growing it before. I like garlic. I don't think I'll get into it or anything, but seems to be working out. This plant here, I think it's a cayenne. I didn't label my bucket very well, but I don't know if you're going to see these, but it's setting a lot of blooms. And recently I discovered, I guess today, that it is also, oops, there went one bloom. Well, it's setting pods. There's a few on it. They're small and tiny, and I guess I can't pick them out. But yeah, it's really going well. This is, I thought, a Kung Pao. Again, I didn't label it well, but it has set at least one piece of fruit, if I can find it. Here we go. Maybe it might be a Serrano. I don't know. That's doing okay. This is a habanero. This is probably my best looking plant. It's just been vegging the heck out, though it's not setting any blooms or anything at this point, but when it goes outside and when it goes in the ground, it's just going to go bazonkers. This particular seed was an amazing producer last year, so I have no doubt that that's probably all the jalapenos I'm going to need. That's probably going to throw off 150, 200 pods, I bet, by the time it goes in the ground. This is a boot Jalokia as well, and at one point this was one of my better plants, but it got irritated about something. It was in like a 2-gallon pot. I'm not sure if I got some fertilizer burn there or what, but it's been dropping a lot of leaves, as you can see. But I recently potted it up into this 5-gallon bucket, and it was probably in 2 gallons before, and there is some new growth, so I'm thinking maybe it's a little more happy now and is going to take back off. And this was in Anaheim, and it definitely needs to be potted up. But believe it or not, this poor little thing, and if you've seen Anaheim peppers, they're about the size of a banana. This thing actually threw out pods last season. Probably they were bigger than it was, but I think, again, once I pot up, and especially when it can go outside and I can throw it in the ground, it's going to probably go crazy. So anyway, I guess that's about it for now, so I'll talk to you next time.